Hello, everyone, and welcome to our 14th Microsoft NextGen Heroes session with the topic of Introduction to MCP, its central role in modern AI pipelines. So, as you all know, today we have another special guest with us, a person who was with us last season as a very good student ambassador and also a person who delves into different kinds of Microsoft technologies. And we're really proud to have her again with us. So, Nicole, welcome to the 14th session. And I really can't wait to start the session, and also can't wait to see how many questions we'll have for this topic at the end, because it's a super popular topic. Um, it's a very hot area that's attractive right now, and I hope that there will be a lot of interest from the public for this one. Okay, so not to waste any more time, let's see the agenda of the day. So, as you all know, first we'll make a quick introduction to the hosts. We'll tell you some interesting things about Microsoft Learn and all the newest features that they've implemented this year. Then Marco will have the opportunity to welcome our special guest and say some few words about her and her experience. Then at the end, we'll have a QA session, and we'll finally mention some interesting things about the next event. So, hello, everyone. For those of you who are joining us for the first time, let me make a proper introduction. So, my name is Bojan Ivanovski. I'm a Microsoft Student Ambassador, and together with Marco and Nicholas, we're trying to spread tech vibes everywhere we go. I have a bachelor's in software engineering, and currently I'm a master's student in the field of AI and big data. What are my passions and hobbies and things that I love to do? Well, those are definitely connected with Azure and the AI tools that are part of this amazing cloud platform from Microsoft. So everything connected with Azure AI Foundry, with deploying models, and also with automation processes. So everything connected to that part are the things that I love doing. So that's some interesting facts about me. And now I'll give the floor back to Marco so that he could make his proper introduction.
Yes, thank you, Brian, for this wonderful introduction. First of all, thank you all for joining us today and taking the time to listen to Nicole speak about these wonderful things. Firstly, my name is Marco Atanasov. I'm currently a DevOps engineer at Macedonian Telecom and pursuing my software engineering degree here in Skopje, Macedonia. And with the little experience I have in the IT world, I quickly fell in love with DevOps and the everyday life of a DevOps engineer. And I'm also a proud MLSA member. I love being part of Microsoft Zero to Hero community as well. I have made a lot of lasting friendships and also improved my professional life. Uh, Now I will let Nicholas tell you a bit more about himself.
Yeah, thank you, Marco. So, hello everyone. My name is Niklas. I'm 22 years old. I'm a former Microsoft Learn Student Ambassador, and right now I'm a Microsoft MVP in the intern category. And I work as a consultant where I specialize in endpoint management and security as well. And yeah, in my free time, I just use a lot of my time diving into Microsoft Intune and working with the product, blog about the product, speak about the product at events like this, as an example. So yeah, that's what I love the most, and of course, I love being a part of this wonderful community. So yeah, let's get started.
So yeah, before we start, I would like to tell you a bit more about Microsoft Learn. And if you haven't joined our community yet, you can join it on techcommunity.microsoft.com. We are a part of a bigger community called Microsoft Hero Learning Room, where we are around 6,000 members in the community. It's a great chance for you to get involved, engage with fellow learners, and make lasting friendships. All you need to do is fill out a form, and then you'll be welcomed into the learning room. And without further ado, now it's time to welcome our guest for today. She's been with us before, sharing valuable insights that truly resonated with you guys. And we're thrilled to have her back to do it once again. So please, Nicole, um, take, take the stage and do your magic.
Oh, thank you so much, Bojan, Niklas, Marco. It's really a pleasure to be here. Like this is the second time, and well, thanks for the invitation, and I feel very honored to sharing this kind of tools that are very trending today, as Bojan said before. And well, firstly, I'm going to introduce myself. We know that the topic today is going to be Introduction to Modern Context Protocol, but we are going to focus on its central role in modern AI pipelines. No? So, to begin, my name is Francis Nicole Baños Flores. I am currently a Gold Microsoft Student Ambassador, and I'm also the local lead of Cochabamba, Bolivia, which is my country. I had the pleasure also to be very trained in sessions to be part of the Microsoft Reactor Latam. And greetings to Bruno, who is going to see the recording as well. And well, for telling a little bit things about me, I really love learning technology, new languages such as I don't know Java, but also languages like in idioms for Spanish, English, German, this kind of stuff. And I am currently a system engineer student at Universidad Mayor de San Simón. I have graduated, but I am doing some master on cybersecurity. So I will be like ending for the next year, and now, well, hopefully I will be a system engineer as well. And well, having said all of that, and knowing who am I, we are going to do the first introduction of what is MCP, because it's something very new, as we have said before. So we are going to see that we have the n by n problem. And we have right now, imagine that you are, for example, building AI applications. You have maybe five different AI models you want to see. For example, it can be Claude on Visual Studio Code. I'm assuming that everyone have seen these kind of tools. GPT-4, for example, can be Gemini or your custom LLM, whatever. But you want to connect all of them to maybe five tools. We can say about Slack, which is a very great tool as well. GitHub, with your versioning of your code, and of course your database if you are using it. It can be Jira or Stripe for payments, for example. And you have these five tools. And I know it can be a really nightmare, but without MCP, the N by N is equal by 25 custom integrations. So we have to think about that. Each AI model needs a custom code to talk each other to. It's like every single charger in your apartment. It's like different shape, and here's the quicker. When you add as I don't know the sixth tool and a new AI model, you are building more custom integrations, and it's compounds. So look at the left side of your today's reality, the red box chaos. That's why so many teams are stuck building integrations, plumbing instead of actual AI features. But look at the right side, the MCP, 5 apps, 5 tools, just 10 connections. Why? Because there's one standard protocol everyone speaks, and the sixth tool, the first 5 apps instantly work with it. no new code needed. And here it goes. MCP is like USB-C for AI. As I this is very interesting when I was like looking for information about what is MCP, what are the concepts that we have to understand before actually using MCP. So remember, when every device need a different charging cable, like in reality we need like a different before USB-C. So well, remember, like 10 years or 5 years ago, I don't know if it's okay, you would buy a new phone and it came with a different charging cable than your laptop. Your tablet had yet another cable, your headphones different again, your bag was the spaghetti of cables. It was a little bit strange. And then USB-C showed up, and suddenly boom, one cable works everywhere, for your phone, for your laptop, external hard drive, your headphones, uh, instantly compatibility. So MCP is exactly that, but for AI. So instead of every AI model building custom code for every tool, MCP says, hey, now standard support. Your tool implement it once. Any AI model that supports MCP instantly connects, plug, and play. What is the magic part? You don't even need to be a developer. If I build, for example, an MCP server today, you use a completely different AI model tomorrow, and it has to work. Zero friction, zero custom code. That's actually the real power we are talking about here. And today, and this magic of what is MCP actually. So technically, what is MCP stands for Model Context Protocol, as we said before, and it's an open standard released by Anthropic in November 2024, if I'm not okay, or maybe yes. I'm just remembering when it came up. But the key insight is that MCP standardizes how AI systems discover, retrieve, and contextualize data from connected services. So, translation, no, it's the contract, the agreement, the handshake between AI models and the tools they want to use. As we can see, before MCP in the image, we have like a basic structure and very like not connected. And after MCP, we have MCP, and it's like the USB charger as we talked about before. So MCP fixes all of that, and it's like thinking your AI eyes and hands to touch the real world in real time. And because it's open standard and it's not locked to one vendor, anyone can build an MCP server, and anyone can use it. It's for free, and it's a very good tool that we may be using today, and in a couple of years it will be like a very popular thing to do. And uh, we have the heart of MCP, three core primitives. These are like the main ones. Well, we are going to talk about tools, resources, prompts, but what about tools? Well, actually, tools are active operations. These are things your AI model can do. Examples: call an API, write to a database, send a Slack message, execute a script, for example, or when the model wants to change something in the real world, it uses a tool. And for the second, which is resources. Resources are most like a passive data. These are things your AI model can request and actually read. Your documents, for example, your files, database records, real-time API feeds, and the model then asks for this context, and the server gives it as well. But the big difference I want to say is that tools are about doing and resources are about knowing. So, having said that, we go to the third part, which is prompts. Prompts are interaction templates, pre-built workflows, a few short examples, system instructions for standardized interactions. For example, instead of your model figuring out how to use a tool every time, You give it a template. For example, here's how you ask for this, ta 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 ta, here's what you will get back. All three together, all of these, create a complete ecosystem where AI and tools speak the same language. Imagine you're building, for example, a customer support AI. It might have, for example, tools, send email, create ticket, escalate to human resources, customer history, for example, knowledge base articles. It can be create tickets queue, or in the prompts, for example, a standard workflow for 100 different issue types. And that's where MCP complete, standardized, extensible. And then we are going to see the three layers, but more for the MCP architecture. Now let's talk about how MCP actually works, architecturally speaking. They are like three key players we are going to mention. The main one, the MCP host, the second, which is the MCP client, and the MCP server. What is the MCP host? This is your AI application. Claude, VS Code, or Visual Studio Code, your custom app, or whatever, and it's the thing running the AI model that wants to do something in the world. And the MCP client, this is a model that lives inside your host application. Its job, where it's maintain connection to MCP server and translate the requests. For example, hey host, here are the available tools, and host wants to X tool, for example. Let me send that to the server. And then we go to the MCP server, where basically this is the tool provider, as we said before. It's the program that says, I have, for example, these tools, these resources, these prompts. It could be running on your laptop, for example, in Azure or anywhere, basically. And its job is to listen for requests and execute them. And the key thing to understand is that there's one-to-one relationship between your client and the server. One client connects to one server at a time, but your host, as we can see in this left side, the host can have like multiple clients. So one AI app cannot connect to 10 different MCP server if it wants. So yeah, it can actually. But I think like it were a phone, the host having a Bluetooth client connected to your headphone, for example, or your car, your smartwatch. Well, each one are like a separate one-to-one connection, but your phone orchestrates all of them. So you have your car, you have your headphones, you have your smartwatch, and they're very separated, etc., etc. But your phone will like join all of them. So that is the MCP architecture in few words. And for talking about what is the flow and how MCP works. So here's what happens when an AI model wants to use an MCP. Walk through for example, we have the first step. The model needs something, so maybe it wants to know what the customer history, or send a Slack message on the Slack app, and it going to create like a request. But in the step two, the request goes to the MCP client, sorry, and the client will say, okay, which server should handle this, or it's going to ask which tool do I need. And in the step three, the client communicates with the appropriate MCP server. For example, they speak the same protocol. In the step four, server executes the request, hits the database, calls the API, sends them the message, and gets fresh data right now. And to the step 5, server sends, for example, results back to the client. Client gives it to the model. And finally, like the step 6, which are, for example, model integrates the result into the reasoning and your responses to the user. It's going to reflect for like both the AI intelligence, and the real-time data. So that's actually the real magic. The model isn't host native or going off state data. It's like grounded in reality. And notice what's missing: custom glue code, no translation layer. MCP is the contract that makes it all work. As we see in our flow, we have the MCP host that we saw, we have the MCP client, the API, and it goes to the products API, users. We have our commits that we are going to see on the demo, and well, we are going to see what are the real use cases. So let's make that concrete. We are people using MCP right now. For example, for develop productivity, your AI copilot isn't just writing code; it's autonomously doing code review, refactoring, running tests, creating pull requests. Why? Because it has tools to do those things via MCP. It's not just cheating at you; it's changing your rep. For use case two, for example, we have data intelligence, and you want to ask your AI, like, for example, show me sales trends for the past month. Without MCP, you copy paste data into the chat, right? With MCP, your AI connects directly to your data warehouse queries in real time. Then it's going to analyze it and show you visualizations. No copy paste, no stale data. So it's very great, right? And to the third case, for example, for enterprise integration, you want your AI to work with Slack. It can be Microsoft Teams, Jira, GitHub, Salesforce, all at once. With MCP, each one builds an MCP server once, and your AI connects to all of them through the same protocol and a new tool. Instantly compatibility. So these aren't like hypothetical, these are happening today. And the MCP ecosystem explosion is going to be like this architecture we saw before. And here's what blows my mind about this moment in this time, because there are already like 1,000 MCP server like right now at 2025, and that's community driven. Developers like you building tools because they are excited or they're just curious like me. And for example, the major players, they are not like sitting on the sidelines. So for example, for using at GitHub build MCP server for repository operations, can be as like for messaging, Cloudflare for edge computing, for example, or Sentry for error tracking. So these are households names saying yes, MCP is the future. And Anthropic, for example, they're like providing open source reference implementations. They're making it like more easy for anyone to build. As we said, it's for free, and this is not like vaporware. This is not coming soon. This is like productions ready today, right now. And if you're thinking like I want to build an MCP server tonight, well, you can. You have like SDKs in every major language. It can be Python, TypeScript, or .NET, for example. And you also have tutorials. You have like, as we said before, it's like 1,000 servers community to learn from. And that's how fast this is moving. And then we go to, for example, MCP and modern AI pipelines, which is like the title of this speech. Now, for example, let's zoom out to architecture. If you are building, for example, enterprise AI systems, MCP changes the game. For complete. Instead of monolithic AI apps, you get modular components that plug together instantly. Your AI coordinator service doesn't care if it's taken for the database server or a Slack server, the same protocol. Instead of stale data or get real-time integration, your AI is always current, always accurate, and always grounded. Instead of, for example, AI teams builds the integration, you get a tool owner builds the MCP server once. everyone use it. For example, you have cut development time dramatically. Instead of like a nightmare maintenance, you get like update the server or the connected apps, get whatever new capabilities, one place to update and done with MCP. So this is how you scale AI responsibly, and this is how you like avoid the end by end explosion we talked about at the start. So 5 reasons why MCP matters. We have, for example, let me hit like these 5 concrete reasons to care about MCP. And the first one is like why one protocol works everywhere and no translation layers. So we have interoperability. We have in the second standardization. It speaks for example, everyone speaks the same language, and AI teams and tools teams aren't a negotiation with your custom contracts anymore. So for scalability, we are thinking about like adding a new tool. You don't have to rewrite your AI app for complete. Only like tool owner implements MCP, boom, and then connect it. And for security, well, MCP has standardized security patterns built in, not like every team remaining on authentication, for example, and grounding for your AI models to stay accurate, stay current, stay connected to reality. So put all 5 together, but you have got a fundamentally better way to build AI systems. And we have like the 3 basic steps for learning, building, and deploying. And for learn, for example, you go to the model context protocol.ai, IO, and this is your one-stop shop. Official docs, tutorials, the full spec, and it's well written, approachable, starts here. And for building, for example, your clone for Microsoft NCP for beginners, we are going to see this on the demo on the GitHub, and this is like very incredible. It's a full curriculum with hands-on code examples in Python, TypeScript, JavaScript. It can be at Rust, it can be a C Sharp, Java, and you don't just read it, you code along, build your first server, make it simple, for example, a calculator, a weather tool, whatever. Just get it work. And for deploying, take that server and put it somewhere. For example, your laptop, Azure, local Docker, for example, container, or whatever. Integrate it with an AI application, see how end to end, and that's it. Learn, build, deploy, done. But tomorrow, you could have your first MCP server running, and we are going to see this on the demo. But first, we are going to see what are the available SDKs, and let me show. For example, building in your favorite language, as we said and we discussed, Python is perfect, super popular for data work, great community support, TypeScript or JavaScript, absolutely, web devs, Node.js builders, this is your lane. C Sharp, Java, Rust, you got covered. Enterprise, performance, critical stuff, and you don't have to learn like a new language. Just use what you already know. And MCP SDKs exist for all of them. So pick your language, start coding right now. So for the security best practices, we are going to see that now. Well, this is very important security. If you are like going to building actually an MCP server that connects to real systems, you have to take this seriously. So authentication, implement OAuth 2 or AP keys. Just don't accept requests for anyone. So verify who is going to ask. So then you can be hacked, and that's not good. So input validation. Never trust what the AI model sends. Never. Validate everything. SQL injection. Take care of code injection. All the classic still apply. So for logging, for example, log everything. Who called what tool, you have to know when, what happened, and you need an audit thrill. This is very important, and if something goes wrong, you need to know. So the least privilege, for example, don't expose all your tools to all users. Make customer support both. For example, give it like tools to create tickets and emails, but don't give it access to payroll data, for example. And for the rate limit and AI model, you could theoretically span your server, but it's more like limit how many requests per time, prevent abuse, and monitoring where watch for suspicious patterns. If suddenly your tool is being called like 1,000 times per minute, alert someone. Security is not a feature to add at the end, so it's built from day one. So it's really crucial, and well, we are going to see what is the vision, and we have the future of AI is connected, and I do agree with this. So for example, we are at the inflection point for the last couple of years, and AI has been about how do I actually use this in my product, and mostly people used for like text generation, chatbots, content, but AI was always limited by being disconnected from the real world. It couldn't actually do like things. I couldn't change your database, or it couldn't book a meeting, or it couldn't execute code. For example, it lived in isolation. So MCP is like the bridge for all of this. It's saying AI is now connected. Now it can interact with the real world safely, standardly, at scale. So, imagine AI systems that manage infrastructure, scaling database automatically, AI agents that coordinate entire workflows across dozens of tools, AI copilots that actually change your code base, your data, your systems, not because they are hallucinating or guessing, because they are like connected to reality via MCP, where actually that's the future, and it's not like 10 years away, it's this year. And well, we are going to build right now, and well, we are going to see now the demo. I will stop sharing this slide screen, and I'm going to be sharing my whole screen so you can see what is going to happen. um, if you can actually, Bojan or Marco can tell me if it's going to be okay like this.
Yes, let me check. Yeah, you can zoom in a bit, maybe.
Well, I don't know if I can zoom it. This,
Yeah, yeah.
if any
With
of
control
you
buttons,
can.
you can just from the keyboard.
Mm,
Control button and the plus, and you can zoom in.
the plus control. Like this.
Yeah,
If it's
yeah,
okay.
yeah. It's
Okay.
better. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, amazing.
Per- Thank you. Thank you.
No
So,
worries.
yeah, thanks. We are going to now, first things first. Before showing the VS Code, we are going to talk about this magic repository on GitHub, which is MCP for beginners. If anyone wants to try this, you can go to this tool. I'm going to give this link to Bojan or Marco or Nicholas, and they will be sharing on the comments. But we are going to see in this, for example, very moment, that getting started, like, is the third file, and we have like this complete getting started, like build your first MCP server with April Gittens, and you have like this your first MCP. We're going to see in a couple of minutes, and to client, for example, this is like if you want to connect your clients to your server and write it, and your client with LLMs here we are not going to show this, but it's like very basic 1 2 3. We all know how to follow these lessons that are very quick. And for the consuming a server for GitHub Copilot, Engine Mode, and Visual Studio Code, yes, we are going to show this how to do. But well, if you are new into MCP, so you basically have to go for, if you're going to use it on Visual Studio Code, you just simply have to go to Visual Studio Code, as I'm going to say, Visual Studio. I know that I am assuming that anyone knows what is Visual Studio Code. Wait a minute. And we go to the first link, and we are going to do to go to the MCP site. We have like in here, we press a click, and we have like all of these content models to the real world, and these all are MCP servers. We have like context 7, markdown, data, GitHub, playwright, Serena, etc, etc, and even Notion. We have Azure MCP server, we have etc, etc, and well, in this particular case we're going to find Hugging Face. For example, Hugging Face is for like face models, data sets, space, papers, collections, as we said. And we basically have to install. I already installed it, so I'm not going to do a click on it. But if you want to see, you have like a complete installing the MCP server with instructions. You have like in Cloud Code. We have in VS Code that we're going to see, and you can follow all of this, and you are going to be using like in a couple of minutes all the tools of MCP. And I already installed this on my MCP locally. That's because this app says install MCP server, like if I did it, but it's already on my MCP version of Visual Studio Code. And well, basically we're going to uh, return back a little bit to our MCP server. And well, what we are going to see is all the Python MCKs in this case. And if you want, for example, your first server, you can see that you have like for MCP server structures, you have all the code. You just copy and paste to your Visual Studio Code. And in my case, I go more to the Python language, which you can use for Java as well. I haven't tried in Java, but in Python it works perfectly. And then you can go to add all of this, and at the end of all of this, we are going to skip. We have the final code, and the final code, you just copy the entire code as I did, and here it is. Well, you have the MCP JSON. You first may create your MCP folder name. Then you have to create this Visual Studio Code, like this file, and into this file you are going to create an MCP JSON, and for example a file for Python. And I know it's terrible, the name 01.py, but I wanted to make it easy to remember to the to the command. So when after you have copied this code in Python, which is basically what we are going to be showing, this is the one. You just have to run this command mcp run dot slash 01.py. I don't know how to say this, but guion in Spanish, anyone knows this, plus TSSE. Uh, Something to mention here is SE has been like withdrawn. Actually, I'm not sure, but we are going to see that are many things that are more better now. But in the first days that MCP was like showed or created, this was like the best way to do it. And to start our server, we just have to press this button, enter. After you already have to use the name you have created before, you have to be aware of that. If you put another file name, it's not going to work. And well, once it's completed, it's going to like show your start server process and all the http of your for example 127.001 8000 for example. And then you have started your MCP server. And then I want to show you how it's going to work. In here you have for example this code that says servers, and we have this like structure where your URL of using for example hanging face. As we discussed before, this hanging face I already created like an account with my personal Gmail and all of that. But after that you just press this button that shows like you can actually see you have for example 4 prompts in here, 10 tools, and the chance to make it actually run. And how does this run? We are going to go to this part when you can see recent sessions we have built with agent, and you can actually describe a prompt in here. This is now running into GPT-5 mini, but you can change it for example, I don't know, Raptor mini, Claude HiQ, GPT for one maybe, or Auto. You can actually put into here like the GitHub Copilot we already see. And well, what I wanted to show you is this one that I already like I was trying and playing with all of this. And I asked, for example, generate a pixeled image of a flower in Bolivia, which is the country I live. And then we has well, it was working like very good. It started with create a pixel art generation plan, and you have like I'm gearing up to create a short plan for generating a pixel art image, for example. At first I will send a message that I will start with this, and next you have all of this. Then you have like created 3 tools, run MCP tools. Then you have the call of HF MCP server, and you will have to update the total progress and then download the generated image if you want. This was the generated image. It's yeah, I think it's the size is okay. I know this is not like the best image you can get, but the main purpose of showing this is that not the result that we already know that with I don't know Gemini you can create a very pro version of whatever you said, but we are actually seeing how MCP is like working, it's thinking before it gives you like the result. It's thinking about how I'm going to do this. These are like for example I'm going to show you this, and then it makes of course a suggestion. For example it says if you want any for these next steps you can do now. You can for variation for example form and convert it. Also for example you can turn this into PNG. You can produce multiple frames. You can make it more clean. I asked for a pixel like on purpose, and then you just have a suggestion. We say next step you want me to do, I don't know, I will proceed. I can run conversation here if you want. And on this for example for more ideas, Bojan, Marco, or Nicholas, can you give me like a very cool funny prompt and we can try to put in here, guys?
Yes, let's see. So
Yeah, give me ideas, feel free.
mm, whatever it can be, like, or it needs
Whatever. Yeah.
okay. Mm, let's say like uh, can it guess like, for example, the I don't know, uh, the weather for the next 5 days in at your place, let's say.
Sure. So
Yeah,
I'm going to write. Can you guess the weather in 5 days? Where do you live, guys? We are going to put a specific
I'm in
place.
Barcelona.
Okay. So can you guess the weather in 5 days? Sorry for my spelling. In 5 days in Barcelona, and we just simply click, and we are going to see how this MCP protocol works. Well, it can be more fast sometimes, it can be a little bit slow, it depends. I don't know, this is something I'm trying, but I think it's fun. It's fine. It
Ah,
was
yeah,
like,
it's Barcelona. Yeah, it's the location is wrong. It's Barcelona.
oh, so sorry.
Okay, it's just, yeah, copy paste it again with
Yeah,
the,
yeah.
yeah.
Sorry for the spelling.
No, no.
Again, we are going to Barcelona. Now I
With
think
R.
I'm missing
Yeah.
the R.
Yes. Now
No,
it's
it's
good.
okay. Yeah,
Okay.
I know. When I'm typing, I do it very fast, and everything is like
No
messy.
worries. Let's
But
see.
sorry, guys, again. But this works. We let's say that I made this on purpose because we have like a quick plan. It says like, which location do you mean by Barcelona country, your nearest city? So before giving like a very quick answer, because this MCP could have create a random image and give me and say whatever you said, but he wanted to make sure that everything's okay. So this is a really big difference with AI bot, for example, that you say, I don't know, Bolivia with I don't know, with the I or with the A, and it's going to give you whatever. But this make sure to really understand what is going on, and then I think everything's okay. We can see that consider weather forecast option is analyzing all the forecast options. Then, for example, selected weather, data source, and updated task. We can see that is like a very processing JSON of updating task. For example, the tool returns all the contents, then can process itself. First, I'll call fetch web page with that, so it's going to give a call with the Barcelona format, if I don't know, okay, but you can see that it's like updating the plan as we see it here, and then fetching a 5 day forecast for Barcelona. And we have like in here this fetch website, we have to allow all of these. You can trust in the process. We can say that you have like this code of current conditions, field like 11, and then we are going to allow. Okay, we are going to see that you also have the all the codes, and it's going to work like a little bit in a couple of minutes. But you can see that it's a very whole structure answer to know, and it's already thinking as you have see. And if added two totals, we have like fetched the website we have saw, and it's trying to execute a Python code like directly in the workspace environment, and we are going to allow all of this because we all trust in MSP. We should, because all the master developers are using it. So we are going to trust in this as well. And finally, it's going to extract and summarize the folders available for the workspace, and it's creating. So I'm going to allow you. You can see that I had a notification that it was saying Python is trying to execute So yes, you it's not something like you are being hacked. It's just a notification for creating something new, and you already have then after all the structure have been like done, you have a completed fetch 5 days, as we said, for the forecast for Barcelona. And we have the process update, and it says I couldn't find 5 days entry for this web page, and it returned data through I don't know, yeah, in a couple of 3 days. I don't know if it's 13 of December of 2025, and then he summarized the further available day instead. And we have a summary of Barcelona. This date summary is going to be peachy rainy nervy. So I don't know, is Bojan or Marco? It's going to be like max of 15 Celsius, mean 13 centigrades, and so,
Yeah,
well,
it's
I think
true.
it's not going to be like a little bit
True.
rainy.
Actually, it's that temperature, and it's true that it rained a bit. So yeah, it's really true. I mean, it guessed correctly because, for example, my app, which I have on my phone, it says like clear weather, and when it was raining, it said the weather is clear, and this application said that it had rained and it will rain in the following days, which is very impressive. I'm
Yeah,
impressed. Yeah.
it's very accurate, and it also gives you some suggestions that I really like. For example, it says I can check another source, and it gives you like the examples of resource in full 5 days forecast. Or he also suggests of if you want to give like a short speculative case for December, I don't know, 16. This is a random date, I think. But which do you prefer? And you are able to play to like change a little bit this code. But for starting of MCP, these are like what, 13 with these little symbols, but like 13 line codes, and it's very complete. With 13 codes you can actually start a server and use it in your Visual Studio Code, and that's it. For I don't know extra, and anyone is curious about this, you can, for example, add in a server. You can press in here, and so sorry. In these tools, you have like selected tools are available to the chat. You have your built-in, and then to the final, we can see your have MCP, and this is like all the structure is going to use. And you can ask for example, I am using in another slide, we press OK. In this slide, for example, I'm using labs 4, and you can actually run all of these. And for in this case, I'm going to just delete this, was not causing trouble, because it's many different ways to run up a server, and this is another way with SSE. But what I didn't want to show this particular case is that starting this kind of server, as I said before, is already withdrawn. It's like old, but it's actually working. But we are not going to see, because we want to see what is already working, and it's already like updated. But for this, I'm going to show another. For example, we have a space selections parameter, and is going to be in here in 01. You know, the weird name I put on this Python file. And well, basically we have this structure. And what is this? You can say, what are you showing, Francis? This is for example, for adding two numbers. This is some parameters like this one and this one. You can do a math operation, whatever, but basically we're just proving that this actually works. And what I wanted to show you is how this actually is going to doing. So this is not the one generating your face fancy city image. Okay, so we are going to go to this part. Okay, for example, let's say, let's leave behind all the math operations that are very basic, and we're going to start for this MCP JSON, and we're going to ask. I'm going to translate this in English. Sorry, I was trying in my native language, but it says that use a model text to image of using Hugging Face for generating an image of a futuristic city. I don't know, in the sunset with a beautiful view with a drone. It's something random, and describe it in detail. And we have seen that it already executed, like generated all the image, and this is the image that's generated. I know it can be improved. I don't know, change it a little bit, but I think it's okay for like trying how it's going to use text to image of hanging face. And there is something I wanted to show, but for that time I think we are run out of time. But it's also image to image. You can say, upload like image of you, a selfie, and ask if you wanted to, I don't know, make me like, I don't know, a superhero, and it's going to change a little bit, and it will really actually create a very good image. So for this, we're trying just text to image. Again, Bojan, Marco, or Nicholas, can you give me a very funny idea as well?
Well, guys, you have some interesting idea?
Well, I'm thinking about something, but maybe the holidays are approaching. Maybe we could
Yeah,
do
let's
something
let's yeah, do something for Christmas like that.
Okay, okay.
and fun.
Yeah.
Um,
So we're basically going to say create a Christmas image, guys, or
Christmas
something.
postcard, let's say.
Sorry, can you repeat, please?
Christmas postcard.
Okay, so yeah, that's a very good idea. So create a Christmas postcard, and create a Christmas. I think everything is okay, and I'm not misspelling again. And yeah, I'm going to add make it very colorful. Colorful.
wonderful.
Yeah,
Yeah,
amazing.
colorful. And we are going to see how it's going to create. As we see, this is 1, 2, 3 for like saying for kids, I don't know, but this is very, very easy and free to use MCP, and you can put it like into using on GitHub, using Copilot, using different frames, languages, as we saw, .NET for the ones that use it, or Java if you are old school, and in my case, Python, of course. But we can see that it runs of every language environment as well. We are using Visual Studio Code. I'm assuming everyone on the audience, sorry, is using it. But if not, you have already a task to do. But well, if you already using Visual Studio Code, you can just click 2, 3 buttons, and you already have a server started, and you can already use. As I am using, for example, I'm not adding something more. This is like very basic, one line, this pipeline, and we are seeing how it's planning the task, actually executing the image generation. We have already a prompt, it's validating. We're going to say okay on all of these, yes, of course. And well, at the end of this demo, we are going to see if anyone have a question. I think we ran out of time, but I'm very and with all the pleasure. I will be accepting all the questions or comments on the chat, and it will be okay. So we have this. I think,
It's
well,
really nice.
I wanted in English, but it gave me. Sorry, Bojan, can you say me?
It's very
Repeat, guys.
nice. I mean,
Yeah,
it doesn't look like AI generated. It's just really pretty cool. I mean, it's without those AI features, those strange things that appear on the images. So it's a high quality picture. Yep, yeah, I love it.
Yes, and we can see that we can change it like the colors. We can ask, we can actually give our own postcards and say, can you make it better? I'm not sure if I have Christmas image now in my PC, but you can, as I said before, you can try it image to image. So you upload your image and you can ask any changes, format, I don't know, the size. This is only using Hanging Face. I know it's very basic, but
Mhm.
as I said before, you can use it for math problems, as we saw, like doing for math solvings and all of that. And yes, we are going to keep all of these. And well, if anyone have questions, you can say me. And but what do you think about MCP, guys? Marco, Niklas, Bojan? This will be actually the. I'm going to present my final slides. Sorry, I don't know if it's presenting right now. I'm going to present it again.
Yep.
Yes, I think no, it's okay, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So thank you. So anyone have questions, guys? If you want to send me, you can. I am now already into it.
Okay, so before we get on with the questions for the public, if there are some, let's quickly let's quickly give comments if we have. Guys, does anybody wants to start first?
Well, in my opinion, I'm convinced this is the future of how we will use AI. But are there any limitations to the MCP protocol? What can't we do with it?
But that's a very interesting question. I think what we cannot do is, for example, for cybersecurity, defense. For example, if you are, I don't know, getting attacked and you are, for example, imagine a database and you are being like hacked for SQL injection, and you are using SCP. SCP is not going to like being a tool to prevent what is going to happen. It's like only a connection of different AI models, and that's it. It's not going to be used for another things. As we saw, it's just a connection, but it's very simple. And the most important, yes, the main thing is that you're saving a lot of time. So yes, you're saving
Exactly.
time. You have this USB-C, as I want to call it, and that's it, right?
So basically automating simple processes that are repetitive and easy to do most of the time,
Yes,
right?
exactly.
Understood.
It's really impressive to see how AI is evolving, right? And also, I'm really curious to see how it will evolve in the future as well. So yeah, really impressive presentation as well.
Oh, thank you so much, guys. I have to admit that I'm very, very new into this. So, like in a few days, I was like, "What is MCP?" I was into some Microsoft Reactor sessions, and I saw all these amazing developers doing coding, and I was like, "Oh my god, I didn't know that I can actually do this. I would have saved many time on my university tasks to do this, but now it's okay. I can do it for work. I mean, but yeah, it's very impressive and surprising. I don't know what's going to come next. First it was AI, now it's MCP. What is going to be next?
I have a question related to what you have just said about the universities and simplifying tasks for students. So, do you think that MCP will be the main one of the main pillars of AI when it comes to learning and achieving new heights together with students, or students won't benefit this thing that much?
I think it can benefit if you, I don't know, if you are studying a technology career or subject, and you are using it for trying different things. If you are like building an AI agent model on Microsoft Foundry, for example, and you want to join all of your model AI agents, and you don't know how to use it, you don't have a clue, you just have to ask, I don't know, to Comet or Perplexity, whatever, and you can say, "How do I join? I want to use MCP. I heard it's something very cool. Can you explain me?" And it's going to give you these 13 code lines, and you can actually use it and show, for example, for a task or a homework that is actually working and is better. Because without MCP, you are doing all one by one by one by one, and you can, it can take you like years. Like one day you're going to up this model AI, but in one day you can like save a lot of time. I'm definitely going to use it for my work, because at university I was like, I already finished my career, so I don't have the chance to use it. But yeah, I think it's the future. I think everyone can. And as we said, you don't actually have to be only developers. I mean, I was only like giving an example, but if you just are freelancer and you want to try MCPs for free, and you can do it everywhere in every country.
Yep, exactly. I mean, I totally agree with what you have said. It's a tool for the future. But do you think that um, the MCP can be upgraded with a memory? Let's say to make it more personalized in a way that it will remember the conversations um, uh, between the users, and also when the user asks something, and then like leaves the MCP for some while and then gets back to him, will it remember the conversation, or will it just start from the beginning?
As I know, it now can with Slack, for example, or Teams, like in call meetings, like scheduling or sending emails. I haven't tried it, but I saw that in some YouTube videos and some friends that were actually using MCP for coding, and they tell me that yes, it's possible, and you can do this if with AI Glee, if I'm not okay. But yeah, it's a very new thing of AI Glee. You can use and mix it with MCP. You can actually mix everything with MCP right now, and yes, I think it will be possible. If it's not, I think it would be. So yeah, it's something that's very interesting. You have mentioned, Julian.
Yes. Okay, thank you for answering the questions, and now we can get to the final parts of the event. So before we end the session, I would like to share some insights of our next event, which is coming in just a month from now. So this will be our biggest event, and maybe our one of our biggest special guests that we have ever had in this 2 seasons of NextGen Heroes. And that person is the one and only Rod Trent. So this will be an amazing journey of his, that in which he will explain his career and what he has done um, throughout his working experience. And I think it's a person who has passed through a lot of things, a lot of technological journeys, a person full of experiences. And I invite you and encourage you all to come to this session, ask questions, and meet Rod Trent as if it was your friend. So it will be an amazing session. I can guarantee you that. And it's just 1 month from now. You can find our registration links on LinkedIn, and also on Microsoft Student Ambassadors channels. We'll make some additional posts regarding this event. But if you're interested, you can search for Rod Trent, see who he is, and also register for event and save your seats, because there is a big interest for this event. Nevertheless, I want to wish you a Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays from the whole team of Microsoft NextGen Heroes. This is our last session for this year and for December. I think we have been through a lot this year, a lot of events, a lot of excitement, a lot of different special guests, and I think that this is the best way possible to end this year. And thank you again, Nicole, for being with us on our last session for this year. And also, Nicholas and Marco, if you want to add something additionally, now's the time.
Yeah, I just want to say Merry Christmas, everyone, and a happy holiday as well. I'm really looking forward to see what next year brings us to this community.
Yeah, exactly. You guys couldn't have said it better. Thank you to all of yours, to Nicole, and to you guys for making it possible.
Thank you,
Yes,
guys.
thank you. Thank you, guys. I have a very Merry Christmas to all of you. I have a very nice holiday as well. And again, thanks for the invitation and big hug for all the persons that are going to see the recording of this session.
Thank you so much, Nicole, and have a nice evening, all. Bye.
Bye
Bye,
bye.
guys.